So this video is going to be for foreign men, soon to be retired, that want to come and live in the Philippines and want a second chance at finding love here. I want to provide a list of things that you're going to want to know before dating a Filipino. Some of these things are from my own personal experiences. Others are from other foreign men that I've talked to. The last thing on this list is going to be one that I didn't learn until I actually started dating a Filipina who eventually became my wife. So the first thing on my list is that family comes first. Filipinas are very close to their families, and if you're living close, then you can plan on visiting a family member at least once a day. Could be the parents, could be a sister, brother, but they visit each other and they see each other a lot. Now, if her family struggles financially, a lot of times they want ongoing financial assistance. It's not just a hand up, here, I'll help you out, help you pay your rent so that you can get back on your feet until you find a job and then, everything's okay. This is kind of something that's ingrained into their culture. And you will be expected as a foreigner because they kind of see you as someone who more or less is going to have more money, a better income than they do. So they're going to expect an ongoing financial assistance, almost like a welfare check that people on welfare back in the U.S. get every month, and it just goes on forever. Now, I think back in the Clinton administration, they put a limit on that, and, saying that eventually those people needed to find a job. So with the way it is in the Philippines, though, is that people have it harder here. But people also want to get ahead. They want to go to school. And there's always a family member who is struggling to pay their rent, or somebody wants some assistance with tuition so that they can eventually find a good paying job. So this is just one of those things where this is really important to them. Families are very close and tight knit. In fact, I remember a gentleman that I used to work for. He was about my age. He was in his late 50s at the time. He said that he never talks to any of his brothers and sisters, his parents. He said he didn't know if they were still alive, didn't care. And I was blown away by that. But that's not how it is in the Philippines. The second thing that you might find odd when you first start dating a Filipina is that she might address you as sir. Filipinas are raised to be very polite and respectful. As she gets to know you better, she might address you using your first name, not being so formal. So this is just kind of a cultural thing, and I think that a lot of it has to do with them being shy at first, but eventually that kind of subsides and they become less formal and they're going to start calling you by your first name. Okay, so the third thing is that many Filipinos are looking for serious, long-term relationships. They're not into casual flings. Many Filipinas are traditional, especially in provinces. They are looking for marriage. And many times they quickly start talking about marriage, children, starting a family. They start talking about making plans with you. And usually there are more Filipinas that are looking for foreign men than there are foreign men looking for Filipinas. So they quickly want to get you into a long-term, locked-in relationship because this is they have a mindset of that it's competitive with other Filipinas. Okay, so the fourth thing on my list is financial expectations. This doesn't mean that they're gold diggers, but men, especially foreigners, are going to be asked for assistance. And I kind of touched base on this earlier, is that there just is always someone in need, more than in the U.S. It can be a load for a cell phone, school fees, family emergencies, and so on. This doesn't necessarily mean that the whole family are lying about the predicaments that they're in. The Philippines is still a developing country, and entire families can struggle, which just means that there will always be someone requesting help. And this is just one of those cultural differences about the Philippines that we as foreigners, if we want to date Filipinas, just need to accept. All right, number 5. She might be shy at first, especially with older foreigners. She might not understand the foreigner's culture. And so this just causes her to be shy. But I also think that being shy kind of ties in with Filipinos being submissive, and that's part of their culture. After trust is built, they become less shy, more warm, and loving. Number 6, age gap dating between foreigners and younger Filipinas is common and accepted. This doesn't mean that every Filipino wanting to date an older foreigner is a gold-digging scammer. It's just that older foreigners are seen as being more financially stable and responsible. They also think that the older foreigner is going to be more mature, less likely to cheat, drink, or do drugs. And I can tell you that I experimented with things other than just alcohol and marijuana when I was a lot younger, fresh out of high school. And I tried a few other things. On a little side note, I saw other people in the U.S. that really totally messed their lives up due to drugs. And I disassociated with them and I went the other way. And I thank the Heavenly Father that I made that decision. Okay, number 7 on my list. Many Filipinas can be jealous or insecure, or both. A few reasons why: they saw their fathers when they were growing up being unfaithful. Or even if their fathers were faithful to their wives, they heard about somebody down the street, or a friend, or a relative, where their father was not faithful. And so this is kind of ingrained into Philippine culture. A lot of times they're insecure and jealous if their partner is having a friendly conversation with another female. It doesn't mean that the foreigner is intending to flirt, might just be an innocent conversation. But a lot of times the Filipina misinterprets that as flirting. And so that's just something that us foreigners need to be aware of. The last thing on this list is one that I didn't know about until I started dating the first Filipina that was in my life 20 years ago. She became my wife. It's called Tampo. And what Tampo is the Filipina doesn't want to say something that she might regret if there's an argument or if she gets upset about something. So what ends up happening is that she becomes really quiet. It's kind of like the silent treatment. And that's kind of what it is. They're really quiet. They don't say anything. Could last an hour, could last 4 hours, could last a couple days. And they don't want to say anything. Part of it has to do with they don't want to be confrontational. But it's also, it can be a form of manipulation or wanting to control so that they can get what they want. A lot of Filipinas do Tampo for different reasons. Anyway, this is something that you'll probably experience if you're going to come here and if you have aspirations to date a Filipina. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Also click the bell notification so that you can see future videos. Thanks everybody for being here. Welcome to my new channel. Peace out.